Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask Rick Henderson and Chris Fitzsimon. Governor Roy Cooper recently named 3 people to the State Board of Education to fill 3 seats that had been recently vacated. In one instance, it was someone who the Senate had failed to confirm last year. Now, these 3 will serve until the terms for the previous members expire, and longer if the Senate doesn't confirm new members. Some say this was the governor's way of playing gotcha. Does this give the Senate incentive to confirm Cooper's new appointees? And does it give Cooper more leverage over public education? What's your perspective about this, Rick Henderson?
Well, it shows that the governor understands when games are played and strategically he can play games too.
This ain't his first rodeo.
He can do that too. I think the appointment of those 3 members really does show that he wants to have a much larger role for his perspective in the way education policy is run. And guess what? That's something that we've discussed on this show many times before, that our current structure is a complete mess.
Our governance structure is a disaster.
You should not have an elected superintendent of public instruction and then an appointed Board of Education who may or may not answer to one another and who are setting policy and running administration. And so this is the way for the governor to impose his vision on the Board of Education. And that's why he has the right to do that. And if anyone was surprised that he would do that, they really haven't been paying attention.
Is this going to motivate the legislature, the Senate especially, because they have to confirm his appointees? Is this going to motivate them one way or another, Chris?
One of the most disturbing and I think undercovered trends of this General Assembly since they took over in 2011 was the way they sort of changed the way we fundamentally did business in North Carolina. It was very rare when you had a Republican governor, Jim Martin, when you had a Republican governor, Jim Holshouser, even way before that, that governors didn't get their appointments confirmed to
on a timely basis.
On a timely basis. Everybody did that. And then after, when Governor Perdue was in her last term, the General Assembly said, we're not going to appoint any of these people. We're going to wait until Governor McCrory gets there. They gave Governor McCrory a couple of appointments. Then they stopped his because they weren't sure and they wanted to exercise their power. Now they've refused to appoint Governor Cooper's appointees. They've refused to take them up for a long time. Then they defeated one. And whatever you think of J.B. Buxton, who's the person, he's widely regarded as an education expert. He's run, he's done all these things. He served on all these boards. He's clearly qualified. So now the governor is saying, well, if you're not going to appoint them, I'm going to appoint them temporarily, and they'll be there. So what I'd like to see is we get back to a place where the General Assembly gives the governor, whichever party runs either branch of government, some deference to let them appoint their people. Everybody in North Carolina,
gives them reasons why they don't.
The majority of people in North Carolina voted for Roy Cooper just like they did McCrory, just like they did Perdue. They should have some ability to get the folks that they want to run.
Rick, this underscores an issue that many are saying our legislature is out of control, that they are really trying to upset the balance of power in our state.
Well, constitutionally, they do have more power than the other 2 branches of government.
But they want more.
They have the ability to take more if they choose to do so. Whether or not
they are choosing to do so.
Whether or not that works politically is another issue entirely. And one of the issues that they have that goes in the favor of the governor is that the governor is elected statewide. He has a bully pulpit that Senate President Pro Tem doesn't have, or that the House Speaker doesn't have, and so he can actually speak to all the people in the state if he chooses to do so about these issues. As Chris was talking about the ability of the legislature to confirm appointees, hearings about these appointees, generally speaking, have not really been very useful, I don't think. And so that's if the General Assembly wishes to continue giving very great scrutiny to these gubernatorial appointments, it would probably serve them well to have hearings that really investigate.
Well, in fairness, in the past, they've just been sort of perfunctory. If the governor put your name out, then it was just going to be pretty much assured.
And if they're going to reject those nominations, I think that they owe it to the people of the state to explain why.
Reason.
Yeah,
and let them know that. So do you think anything will change there?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what the legislative leadership's reaction is to these appointments, because, as you mentioned, even when the terms run out, they're going to stay there. So the
Governor's got no incentive to appoint anybody else.
That's right.
He's got 3 members on that board. Now, final question: does this give the governor more input, more authority, more control over the governance of public education. Rick?
His vision will certainly be expressed much more strongly.
Well, the Constitution, I mean, it gives him the right to appoint these members. So that you know, this is his right and responsibility as governor to do this. If people don't like that, we could talk about changing it. But I think he's just exercising the powers that he has.
I don't think I quite got an answer.
Well, no, it gives him more power.
Will he be more of a player?
Well, of course, and he's supposed to be. These are his slot. These are his appointments. That my point was, yes, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way our government is designed.
All right. Great. Well, thanks for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.